wasn't driving, they hired me as a consultant at their race team for a few races. So it's something that I've always, it's something that I've always enjoyed, and you know, I've got along with Jay very well for a few years when we were competing against each other in IndyCar, and we both saw a great opportunity to, you know, for me to step up as more on the technical and commercial side too of the team.
Having driven for 4 races and really understanding the energy usage and the unique demands of these cars, how much are you going to feed that back to the drivers?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously Jerome has had as much experience as myself, and although Loic hasn't driven the car, he's obviously has a lot of experience with similar systems. He happens to be driving for Audi and has won Le Mans, so he probably will learn a lot from him, actually. No, I'm pretty sure we have, you know, 2 great drivers that we're going to be challenging for the win.
Thank you very much, and good to see you. We'll go on from the last race in Buenos Aires, Antonio Felix da Costa. Just how much of a boost was that win to you and the Amlin Aguri team?
Yeah, it was certainly a big boost for everyone at the team. Like I said beforehand in Buenos Aires, I really thought we made a big step forward in terms of setup and pace, just in general, after the Punta del Este test day we had there. But clearly everyone did. You know, we could see in qualifying straight away, being half a second off pole position in any other race up to Buenos Aires would have been a top 3, P4, not more than that. And we qualified 8th or 9th with it being half a second. And I think this gap is going to get shorter and shorter, and everyone is going to keep on improving. But clearly, what we have to understand is that the hard bit comes now. You know, to stay at the top. And we have to keep working hard, because obviously we were there, we were at the front, we took the win, but we were not the fastest car on the track. Well, it's something about Formula E, you don't have to be the fastest car on the track to win the race. But I think we do still need to improve a little bit, and this win really gave everyone a big boost to, you know, to taste what it feels like to win a race, and I think we're all going to chase for some more.
Have you had a chance to go around the track, and what do you make of this facility?
I did some simulator work back in Europe before I came here, and it's certainly a bit more of a traditional track, a bit less of a city track. I have to say, a lot of 90 degrees corners, one kind of fast corner, but you know, like any other city track, you're gonna run close to the walls, which I like, and I guess, you know, hard brakings, this will provide some good overtaking moves, but I hear the track is quite bumpy, which yeah, we'll see. It will be interesting. I think we have to set up the cars a little bit in a different way, but it's the same for everyone, so we'll see.
Thanks, and good luck. A new face to Formula E, and I understand you were just on holiday in Miami, and next thing you know, you're in a driver's press conference. What happened there?
Yeah, this was the best end of our beautiful holiday, basically. I was supposed to fly away yesterday night, but then after a nice lunch with Jarno on Tuesday when he arrived, we had a talk, and he said that maybe Michela was not supposed to come, to keep myself on standby. And basically I said, okay, but my flight is on Thursday night, so let me know a little bit before. And yet yesterday morning I had this great news that I was able to race with his team, and I'm really happy because to race for Jarno, because as a person I really respect a lot as a person and as a driver, and so I'm really looking forward to this weekend to try my best to help this team to go forward.
Given that preparation, what can you realistically expect to achieve this weekend?
It's difficult to say because I saw the previous race in TV and everything happened in the race, so it's difficult to approach. I love city circuit, so I think this will be good fun, even if it will be so bumpy or difficult as it will be. But the most important thing for me will be to learn the car, understand how the regeneration of the car will be, how difficult it is to regenerate in braking, all these difficulties that you have in this kind of car compared to a normal single-seater car that you used to drive. So will be a difficult learning procedure. We just have 1 hour 15 to get used before qualifying, but I will do my best to learn fast.
Well, very good luck to you. And finally, Lucas, three podiums in the first 3 races, and now you were winning the last one when you retired. How keen are you to make it?
Well, first, it's a pleasure to be here in Miami. I spent some time here also. before, well, from our Sebring test on LMP to here. So looking at the track, it looks very good, in a very good location, also with the heritage from Miami city tracks from the past. So it's actually very nice to be here. I hope this race stays on for many years to come. Regarding the last race, yes, there was a suspension failure that we don't know why it caused it, but the manufacturer of the car makes sure that we have a new, more strong suspension for the car, which I think is essential. So this part was covered, but like Antonio said, the championship is getting very tough, very close. The teams which were a bit behind, they picked us up. So now it's very challenging. So you have to drive even more on the limit and close to the walls with a bumpy track. Actually, it's very challenging, especially at the well, both in qualifying, which you run the maximum power, and in the race. So for me, I take the same approach as Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires was for me the best race for me in terms of pace, in terms of performance. So we also managed to go a step up after the testing in Punta del Este. We're just trying to keep it up. And the championship is very long, still six. After this race, still there is still 6 races to go. So with this one, 7 races to go. So we don't even close to the half of it. So there is no reason to think about being the lead or 3rd or 5th in the championship. We go for the win. We try to make the best out of what we can get and go out of here with a good result without any problem. Would be fantastic.
Now we've seen 4 different winners from 4 different teams. You expect that trend to continue?
Yes, I'm amazed about the interest of all the high quality drivers everywhere in the world for this championship. It just shows that the championship is picking up more and more. I think there is everyone at the grid, actually everyone can actually win the race. So different from other series, there is a big equality here. And the driver who gets the faster into the track, the team who gets a little bit edge into the free practice and qualifying can have a good result. So it's absolutely open to see which one we're going to win here.
Thank you very much and good luck for the race. We'll open the questions to the floor. So please raise your hand and state your name and public.
Tony DeZino from NBCSports.com. Question for Michael. Your group has obviously promoted a number of events before, including a past street race. What are some of the logistical challenges of promoting a one-day event?
Well, I don't think it's much different than doing a 3-day event. It's still a big undertaking. Anytime you have to deal with cities and the politics and all the things, the amount of logistics that go in is just amazing. And every but I gotta say, I think our people did a fantastic job to get it to this point where we are, and I think right now everything's running really smooth. So really happy with the way it all came out.
We've heard a lot of talk over the years about electric vehicles and technology coming on. We've also seen the industry sort of back off. Sales aren't going where they're supposed to go. How has that affected what's happening here? Are you guys dragging the real world of electric vehicles on the street, the average consumer, into this world, or is the slowdown in sales of electric vehicles holding back the potential of this market?
I don't know. In my opinion, I think that we're at the ground floor of this technology, and I think when we get the manufacturers more involved with this and the OEMs more involved with the series, I believe the learning curve is just going to go like that, and I believe in 5 years we're going to be going twice as far, twice as fast, and it's all going to be because of the competition that you have on the racetrack. And I think that's what auto racing did in the beginning, with the automobile, and I think that's what it's going to happen here with the electric side of it.
Any more? Please state your name and publication and address the question to the person you wish to answer.
Jim Motivali from Car Talk at National Public Radio. I wanted to get anybody on the panel to talk about the noise issue. The fact that the cars don't make a whole lot of noise. Do you think that matters to the fans, and does it matter to you as drivers if you can't hear the other cars as well?
Well, I'll just answer from my standpoint. I think, we have to look at this as a different type of racing, so you can't come in with the same ideals. But I think it is one thing. I think that sometimes to put on city events, one of the problems we always have is noise, and I think that's something we don't have to worry about now. And which is a good thing. But I think you will find when you watch these cars, they do have a pretty cool sound to them anyway. They do have a noise, but it's not a piercing noise like a regular engine. So I think from that standpoint, I think it's a positive. But to drive it, I don't know. I haven't ever driven one, so you have to talk to these guys.
I think you reference it straight away as the noise issue. I don't really see it as an issue. It's just different. Obviously, as drivers, we like the biggest engine you can get behind you. As a natural racing driver, V12s, V8s, V10s, whatever. But this is just it's a different direction where we're going. There's a big road in front of us, and I think the noise is really the smallest thing to look into it right now. Obviously, it's one of the first questions everyone asks and thinks about. But I think that the technology to come is a lot more interesting for the years to come too.
Sunny Cadwallader, The Sporting Nation. Alejandro talked about not much of a heritage for the Formula E racing, as well as trying to connect with the younger generation. Right now, I'm using Meerkat to broadcast this press conference. I'm curious, maybe with Scott, Lucas, or Michael, how critical is it to using social media, the various platforms, to connect with that next generation of fans and for your teams to embrace it?
Well, again, I think that's one of the things that Formula E is doing that's a little unique, with the fan boost and all those things. I think they're trying to connect to the kids and, the phone that you're holding right there. I think that's important. I'm hoping that, we've heard talk that they're talking about different things that they're going to do to help be able to get kids to even interact more with what's going on with the racetrack, and I think that's part of the future of Formula E as well. Is what they're trying to do in that way, and I think that's all very important. I think that's all part of it, and I think the social media thing is very, very important, and I think that's why I think the fan boost is a great idea to get the fans actually involved.
Completely agree. Plus, I think it's very important to engage with the younger generation. And when they think about buying their first car, they think about buying an electric car, because to change old mind that V8s and V10s are the cars to get, it's actually very difficult. But if the first car that you buy is electric, the chance of you staying with the electric car for the future is actually very high. So that's why it's very important to have the younger generation engage with us.
Hi, Mike Butcher from TechCrunch over here. I'd like a question for the drivers. Somebody talked a little bit about the regenerative braking that you have to employ in the cars. Could you talk a little bit, any of the drivers, could you talk a little bit about how different and interesting and actually the competitive advantage that you might have if you can handle, the regenerative braking aspect of the driving?
Well, what I can say is that, that's for me one of the most interesting points of an electric driven car, because when you do the electric motor works both ways, as a power producer, and also you regenerate, and you can actually program the motor to behave as you wish. So if you want the motor to behave as a small drag like a combustion engine, or if you want the maximum regeneration possible, you can also do. And in the future, I think with more motors, and even if you were able to use the motors like some prototypes do in the four wheels, you can regenerate much more power, which for us at the moment is only rear wheel drive, so we can only regenerate at the rear. So the more you regenerate, the more battery you can use for the next straight or for the next acceleration. but if you put it too much, then the car becomes unstable. So it's a fine balance between setup, driving style, regeneration, and how much power you can use. So this is one of the points that will definitely evolve a lot in season 2 and 3.
Thank you very much, everyone. That concludes today. Just to note, all the drivers, all 20 drivers, are available at the media pen out there. Thank you.